Hey, everybody, thanks for joining me for the Smart Hustle podcast, where we educate and inspire small business owners to start and grow successful businesses so they can live the lives they want, provide for their families, or support their communities, or support their families and provide for their communities, depending on how you want to do that. If you're hearing the sound of my voice or watching this video, I'd be so grateful for a 5-star review or a 5,000-star review. And you can find amazing interviews like this I'm getting ready to have with Maggie Owens at smarthustle.com. Maggie, how are things in your world? And thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you sharing your wisdom and insights with the Smart Hustle community. How are things?
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. It's a great, cold, sunshiny day here in Arkansas, and excited to dive in and have a conversation with you all about Presley Page.
Indeed. And talking about cold, I was having some breakfast earlier today with some friends, 3 different friends in the picture, including me. One had a t-shirt on, one had a t-shirt and a vest on, and I had 5 layers on and a hat. So people are like, Ramon, is it winter? Is it spring? Or is it summer where you are in the vacation capital of the world, New Jersey? I'm like, well, I don't know. So it is that time of the year where, depending on where you're at, it can be kind of cold, very cold, or whatever it may be. But Maggie, thanks for joining us, and tell us about Presley Page. Where are you at today? What do you sell? Who's your perfect customer? Brag a bit about Presley Page, who you are today. Then I'd love to hear about the journey.
Absolutely. So we are in the middle of holiday launch 2021 right now. We are a paper party and gift boutique located in Arkansas with a growing e-commerce store. So you can shop with us online at presleypage.com. We year-round specialize in curating really fun, colorful, unique paper goods. So cards to send to your friends and family, paper goods to celebrate for your loved ones or your children, and then gifts for everybody in between that. And celebrating yourself and those that you love is a big part of what we do here.
I love that. And give us an example, like what's your top 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 items? Give me a good example of what are some things that you're like, Ramon, if you don't want to, if it's like asking what's your favorite dog or child, don't do that. But if you can, give us a genre, an idea, like give us a
absolutely.
sense.
I will say, like, it's someone's birthday every day. So birthday cards are a big part of our lives. We usually have about 1,000 birthday cards at all times. Right now, we're all in holiday mode, so we're heavy on the Christmas cards right now. But I would say cards in general, like you're a badass. Like, I don't know if I can cuss on here. Okay, great. I was like, oh no. So definitely things that like with words of motivation to empower you or the people that you're around. A lot of times, like celebrating someone's job promotion. So lots of cards, lots of stickers. We are located in a college town, and I'm sure you've seen those hydro flasks that are like covered in stickers, or laptops. So lots of fun stickers. And then my personal favorite item would have to be, we sell pouches with like customizable letters. So it's really like a modern monogram. That is my favorite item.
I love it. So do you sell coupons or gift cards or gift certificates, anything like that?
Yeah. We sell gift certificates.
So that means, should I go there and buy like hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of gift certificates for my favorite clients? Should I do that today?
Oh yeah, totally.
Because I'm right.
I have a female client. They will love it.
I love it. I have catalogs this thick of everybody you can imagine. Good companies, nevertheless. But I'm like, why not do it on Presley Page? You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Sure. So let's dive into, you started this company like 25 years ago. Not. Tell us about when you started it and help us understand, what was that like? Because what you're going to tell us in a few seconds, people will understand about when you started it, why it's so important. Help us understand when you started it and how were the months after.
Yeah, absolutely. So we opened in January of 2020 after years and years of me trying to start the business. I was working full time, had realized I was about 25 years old and I was like, man, I don't really know that I want to do this forever. I'm really feeling an itch to do something more creative and to do something that was more aligned with like my values and my passion. So I started trying to raise money, trying to figure out how to get a loan, how to start a business, all these things. And it never really worked. So when I finally, after years and years of trying, was able to start the business in January of 2020, 73 days later, the pandemic hit and I was still working full time. So then I was juggling a new work environment and juggling how to keep my small business alive. And at that time, we were only a brick and mortar here in Fayetteville, and we didn't have any online presence. So quite the journey to go from where we were in January of 2020 to where we are now. And so crazy to think about the pandemic and all that went into how our business changed.
Wow. And then what did the pandemic help your business? Because you're largely online, had no retail store. Did that just skyrocket it? Did it sink it? Or for the months after March 20th, let's say, no real distinction? Meaning, because you're a startup, you had just launched. So what was that like?
Yeah.
Was it like, oh, this is good for us in a honorable way? I know people are suffering and hurting, but I meant for business. Did you notice a growth or was it negligible or downward?
Yeah, so because we were brick and mortar and we had no online.
Oh, you were at the time. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
okay.
So just wanted to clarify. So we actually were brick and mortar. We didn't have an online store.
Got it.
Our online store didn't launch until August when our store had reopened. So it's so crazy because, you know, as a first year in business, you don't really know what you're doing you're just learning every day. Still doing that today, but you're totally learning in year one.
You read all the books and you have a sense of your North Star. You know you need customers. You know you need sales. You need products. But you're iterating. Right. That's what I'm hearing you say. You're iterating every day.
For sure. So for us, you know, we started, if you like scrolled all the way back on our social, you would see that we started with like 95% party goods. So plates and napkins and birthday hats, all the things that you would want to have for a perfect party. Well, people weren't celebrating in person in 2020. So there was a really dramatic shift in our business that started because of the pandemic. We had a very small collection of home goods and candles, things that you would gift to somebody. But we noticed that people wanted to support our small business, but weren't necessarily having a birthday party. And so that became a big shift as we were pivoting to how do we stay afloat, but we're not selling the products that we have total stocked inventory on. So tried to get really creative on taking those party products and creating an at-home activity for children, saying this is so much fun. They're at home with you every day. Create a fun breakfast for your kids, maybe a princess themed breakfast. So the pandemic, it was hard in the sense that we couldn't sell their product and we had to change our inventory. But we've learned a lot about who our customer is from a year of the pandemic, or going on 2 years now, right?
I love it. That is powerful for sure. And then the conversion or I guess now is the e-commerce, the physical store still open, correct?
Yes.
And do you see yourself as a fully now e-commerce business? Help us understand that transition, I guess, of the morph between having a physical store, the vision in January 2020, opening up the store back in August, now having an online store. How do those blend? Is one bigger than the other? Help us understand that mix.
Yeah, absolutely. So our brick and mortar, up until about Q4, because we're in holiday right now. So Q4 is about a 50-50 split as far as sales go. So they're competing with each other.
Which is good in a way, yeah.
Which is great. But outside of that, e-commerce only accounts for about 30% of our business. So most of those sales are happening in person at the brick and mortar location.
Got it. And so what have you learned, Maggie Owens, again, of Presley Page, presleypage.com. Help us understand some things you're learning and talk to maybe those in retail. If you'd like, help us understand some tips, some success tips, things you're learning, some challenges, and then we can switch the conversation to e-commerce online, because that seems to be the infinite growth area. Not that you couldn't have lines of people at the retail, but it seems like the online. So let's talk first about retail. What are your plans there? What are the challenges you've had? And what are some lessons you've learned?
Absolutely. Challenges first, just driving traffic. So because we are in the South, we're not in a big metropolitan area. So it's really about driving brand awareness. So using social media and using our storefront to create experiences for customers that they can't have other places. So I would say the challenge is driving traffic, because you continuously, with a storefront, you want people coming in the door, to help, so because we have somebody there who's there to help them and for them to see and touch and feel the products in real life, because it's a totally different experience when you're engaging with the product in person versus online. So I would say driving traffic, really trying to engage with your audience on social by building a storyline and being able to help them understand your story. That's been really helpful for us as we've grown, is that people are engaged with what our team members are doing and what we're doing behind the scenes, because they've been a part of this since day one, and really care about like our growth as a business. So totally a challenge, but also a lot of great things come from having the brick and mortar. Something that we are continuously like struggling with is managing the inventory. And so if you're in retail, like it's so exciting when something sells out and you're like, oh my gosh, it's sold out. And then you're like, oh no, what do I put here now? So I think that was a huge lesson in the first year of business. And we are, not pros at it yet, but we're mastering it a little bit more. So it's really just finding that balance of products for your customer. So I would encourage other people that want to get into the retail space to think about their customer. What is she buying or he buying? What are they wearing? What kind of things do they like to do on the weekend? So the products that you are purchasing will complement that lifestyle, or what they like to do. So I would say that was a big part of my early struggles too, is like, okay, if I hit the mark on the head, then it sells out. And I'm like, yes, it's the best thing ever. But I don't have enough. I can't get more product in for about 2 weeks. So it creates a little bit of a bottleneck, right?
Yes.
And then on the other side, you're like, oh no, I didn't think about this. This is hard. Or, I thought this would sell, but it was maybe a stretch.
Yep.
And then it just sits on the shelf forever. So learning to manage inventory is a big part of retail, and really honing in on your audience. I think that's what's so great about the modern day, is that you have all these different ways to really understand people and build relationships and ask them questions on social. And that has been really influential into helping our business grow.
Explain about the asking questions on social. That was interesting that you said. Explain how that works. So what do you mean by that? Because that then touches into the online world a bit, but asking questions on social, you asking, them asking, help us understand that, because social media, you just say the word. It's a big, I can see people outside. See, they turn their heads when I said the word social media. Watch, social media. See, they turn their head. Tell us why that's so important, social media, to the retail store.
I mean, for us, our online community, and when I say online community, I really mean like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, that is where we have been able to have a clear lines of communication to our customer every day, and showing up on there not once a week to post like, hey, there's this cool product, but really showing up to say you're so excited or show them what you just unboxed. It builds a connection with them. So it's like you're showing up for them every day, just like you would show up for your friends. So that's the way we've really tried to approach growing our business, is like, these are our friends. Like, these are the people that we want to spend time with and we want to talk to, because if they're like these evangelists behind our brand, like they're as excited as we are, and they can feed off of that energy. So what we've done is we do weekly lives. So we go live, I feel like, all the time. We're always going live, asking them what they want to see. And it doesn't always have to be like in a professionally lit space. I always tell people, like, work with what you got. You got to start somewhere. And someday it'll be so cool when you do have this wonderful studio that people can like rally behind you and be like, I remember when you were sitting on your couch, So that, I would say, like, hop on there, ask questions, use polls, let people like say like, if you have any ideas, message me on Instagram, like send me a DM, because it's the more opportunities that you give people, not everyone's going to take it, but the people that do, it's great that you get to build that relationship with them. And it's so fun, because I think about our growth as a business, and people that I didn't even know are like now the biggest cheerleaders for the business. And my friend opened a business a few weeks ago, and she's like, well, so-and-so, like some of her friends and family didn't come to support her. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter. You don't want those people. Like, you want all the strangers, because you can't rely on your friends and family to pay your bills. But I was like, you got to build these relationships with all these other people that love what you're doing, because those are the people that are going to support you and buy your products.
Yeah. That is true for sure. That is powerful. Now, how does this touch the e-commerce part of it, Maggie? Help us understand. A lot of this seems like it could relate very much to the e-commerce, going online, going live. Do we cover that already, or now are there other things that you have that are working with e-commerce only? Let's say you didn't have a retail store. What other things are you finding that work for e-commerce for those who are selling purely online, or a mix?
I think because our business is so intertwined, most of it is a mix. Using Pinterest, if a retailer is not on Pinterest, or I guess really any business is not on Pinterest, it is a place of discovery. And we have found such great success there by creating content, linking back from other pieces of, like, a really inspirational photo might link back to your content. I would highly encourage anybody to hop on Pinterest and really start to discover how they can make an impact there. I think, you know, as a millennial, I saw the early rise of Pinterest with like bloggers and fashion. And then I worked in real estate development, and we used Pinterest primarily to source product and to connect with interior designers and architects. And so I think that it's such a platform that doesn't come top of mind, but when you are looking to be in this discovery phase, then it's a great place to be. And especially if you are in retail, people are ready to buy when they're on Pinterest because they're looking for something that they want that's aspirational. So definitely encourage that platform.
I love it. And then what about TikTok? I'm hearing quite a bit about TikTok as well. Is TikTok dead? Is it hot? Is it the must?
Oh, it's real hot.
To go to? Okay.
It's so hot. It's hot as a frying pan. Yeah, TikTok is great. We are really looking to allocate more time to TikTok in 2022. And I think it's really one of those things. It's not as hard as it seems. And I was hesitant. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I pushed back. I don't know if you're on TikTok. Maybe I should go find you on there.
No, I haven't. I've done 5 TikTok posts in the last few days, but Maggie, I'm going to tell everybody, for Ramon, I don't think it's for me. I'm more of a face. Hey, this is Ramon, 3 tips. And people have told me, Ramon, that's still good for TikTok. But Maggie, I just don't know. It just, between Instagram and Facebook, it would be great. And Twitter, I'm rocking it already. But go ahead, let me hear what you're doing. Let's learn from you.
So we do a lot of, I guess we're getting more into it. So I don't want to pretend like I'm a TikToker.
It's okay.
Here, because I'm not.
Okay, let's rephrase it. Maggie, you can confess and say to me, Ramon, I'm a TikToker. You can just say it.
I mean, I'm on there. I'm just not great at it.
Okay, so that means you can, Maggie, let me hear it. Ramon, I'm a TikToker.
Ramon, I'm a TikToker.
Now you are. Go for it. Okay. Tell us.
Thanks for the affirmation.
Yes.
We have done a lot of like behind the scenes things on TikTok. So showing people the process of how we set up visual merchandising in the storefront. We did another one. We had one viral TikTok. It has 1 million, I think 100 views. Okay. That's our little pat on the back.
What was the video about?
It was about some nutcrackers that we painted for part of our holiday display. Okay. So we bought them at Sam's Club and we painted them pink because like the whole red and blue wasn't really our vibe. So I think that TikTok is, again, it's all about finding like your people, right? And so for us on TikTok, it's about connecting with people that are excited about bright colors and disco balls and little at-home decoration DIYs. And so showing people how to take a product from the shelf and transform it into your space. And so it can relate back to your life. So whether that is literally a disco ball ice bucket that we have that you can put flowers in, and then it looks cute on your coffee table. And then it looks cute with popcorn when you have your friends over. So for us, we're using it as a place to take existing products and show people how to use those in new ways. Also, as we are building our business, taking people on that journey with us, again, like inviting them to be a part of our story and showing them how we're building like a garland for our outside of our space so that it's holiday ready and very festive. It's funny because even like the little things, people on TikTok noticed the other day, someone was like, what does your balloon form say? Can you show it to us? Can you send me a picture? Because there's so many other small businesses on there. And it really has opened up and kind of taken down that like wall of information. And there's a really great small business like TikTok group, you know, like there's a great community there. So people are a lot more likely to help each other. And I think that's what's so great is TikTok. You can either go on there to try to like push and sell your products, or you could go on there to build a community and be resourceful to other people within your industry. So we have a little bit of both right now.
I love it. I love it. So TikTok, we'll have to see if it's Ramon. So regarding the online, what about things like SEO, buying ads? any of the things you're doing or not doing? And these are just some common things I hear, but what else is working for you?
Yeah,
As you're
absolutely.
advising others, what are the things you're doing for online?
So we, coming from a marketing background, I opted to go in the direction that I'm passionate about, which was organic growth. Not that I don't believe in SEO and not that I don't believe in paid advertisements, because we do. Hello. But I really believe in growing organically and then using paid advertisement to push that growth further. So we, back to social media, back to TikTok, back to Instagram, we focus solely on creating great content every day. And that content is what's driving our business, not any other additional like paid advertisement.
Good for you. Wow. Okay. So do you think you will continue that for the foreseeable months in the future? Or do you think at all you use paid ad? Or do you think that you can do it organically? And organic, I guess, means great content, SEOing it. Also, are you deep into SEO and optimizing it in tags? Okay. Well,
no,
that's part of organic then, right? You would say.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So yeah, maybe that's the other part to do.
Yeah, for sure. I would say we are for 2022, we're definitely doubling down on our content strategy, and hiring for that. But I don't foresee that we'll be spending much more in the paid space.
And you may not have to if you get the like you said, you're hiring. So I like that. So content, I'm just putting notes for myself for those listening. Maggie is doubling down in content. So there you go. You don't have to do ads, I think, if you're good in the SEO. And so I guess when people are searching for glittery ball for my table, making it up, forgive me.
Yeah.
You want to be, those are things you want to rank in, and you can do that with SEO and good content. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's what's so great about TikTok, or Pinterest, is that say you have like, I'm like, I don't know, like a glittery ball or whatever you're saying, like, or a basketball, right? Like if you're the one creating the most content and posting basketballs and writing like 10 trips, 10 like about dribbling tricks, or, like 10 dribbling hacks or whatever that might be. If you're continuously doing that all the time, the platform recognizes that and you continue to push yourself to the top.
I love that. Where will you be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, Maggie? What's up for Maggie Owens in the future?
Oh gosh. Right now we are focused on growing our e-commerce. So looking to continue to be a major retailer. So our goal is to be one of the top retailers in the gift space. So when you think about gifts and home, what retailers do you think of?
The Christian organization. I forgot the name. Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
Maybe.
Like, where are we going with this?
But I'm not in that space. In fairness to you, my wife is. So if she was here, she would mention 2, 3, 4, 5. But I get your point. One of the top in that space.
I think that we have some like legacy brands that I love, like Anthropology and Urban Outfitters, Free People. And I would say like we are tapping into that similar, I would say like zeitgeist, but with a little bit younger audience, is kind of where we're at. So growing through brick and mortar and continuing to grow our online presence is what's happening for us.
I love it. Maggie, anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to share? Anything else that you wanted to, if you had to help another small business owner who has a retail store or e-commerce, anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to share?
I would say the question that I get asked the most, which is literally 3 or 4 times a week, right? Is how do I start?
Love it. So tell us, let me ask you, Maggie, before we ended, I had a question for you and I was curious, how did you start?
You start by starting. You start by doing it. And I tell that to people all the time. I'm like, listen, forget about everything that you don't know and just start with what you do know, because you're going to learn everything else along the way.
Yeah, that is powerful. And so when you say, but start, you're going to learn. So that's like Marie Forleo's book, I guess, Everything is Figure Outable, where she's like, most of us, if you're half decent human, right? You have some skills in you. The rest of it, search engine, asking friends, asking family, Ramon learning from Maggie, you're going to go from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And Maggie, I was on your website. Your website is deliciously beautiful. I love the pink. It looks great. And so I can't wait to buy a few things from there or tell my wife to. But again, everybody, this is Maggie Owens, founder of Presley Page, PresleyPaige.com, learning about retail growth, learning about online growth, and how you can grow your business with Maggie Owens and Presley Page. Again, this is Ramon Ray, founder of SmartHustle.com, where we inspire and educate small business owners to start and grow successful businesses so you can live the lives you want, supporting your families and providing for your communities, or vice versa. And you can find great interviews like this at smarthustle.com.